Yes. I'm trying. I'm trying. This is much later than I had anticipated, but I feel guided, so I know the information here is very important. It's coming through. Later than I had anticipated, but I feel guided, so I know the information here is very important. It's coming through later than I had anticipated. I think I figured out the mute. Hello. Is it echoing now? Can you hear me? I don't know why it's frustrating me. Yes. All good now, no echo. But you can hear me. Is that correct? But you can hear me. Yes. I know. That's because the information here is way too important. Okay, perfect. Now I just have to give people a chance that can come in, and I'm sorry for those that this is much later, but this information and the energy is just super strong. So God's in charge, or source is in charge. So, so those that are meant to be here are going to be here. And there is a bit of a delay, but I'm not hearing myself. So that's actually perfect. Ah, okay. Yay, we made it. All right. So I'm going to tell you a story, and some of you have heard parts of this story, but this is a very important story. So this is the story of creation, and it's a very fantastical story. Um, so in the beginning, there was thought, and that thought had a thought to create. And when that thought had a thought to create, there were three thoughts that were created: one of the light, one of the dark, and one of the neutrality. The reason that there's three is because three is God. So it's all. So anytime there's a thought, there's always three. So the one who was in the light began to create, and in order to create something, it needed something to create with it, so it created sound. The one in neutrality not only decided that it wanted to create, but it wanted to create with an extreme amount of curiosity, because the one in neutrality had created many times before, but had brought all of that information back to source. And so this was actually like a new birth, a brand new birth for this thought in neutrality to create. So in this new birth as a baby, that thought wanted to create with extreme curiosity. So it created this most beautiful flower. And the one in the dark could not create. But for the first time ever, Source agreed to let the one in the dark have curiosity as part of its geometry, part of its agreement. Now, you might say, why would anybody or anything choose to be an expression of source in the dark? Well, because the dark is a place where the expression could rest, so that it wasn't one with source, because one with source is recognizing everything at one time. So a soul in essence might choose to be in the darkness just to rest. So this is really the agreement of the darkness through universal law. But in this time, Source agreed to let the thought in darkness have this frequency of curiosity. And even though the one in the darkness couldn't create, it let it have this frequency of curiosity. But now, because the one in neutrality also was carrying this frequency of curiosity, there was now a match to that frequency within the thought in the darkness. And so because of that, the darkness was able to lure the thought of neutrality now with this beautiful flower that it had created with extreme geometries and just very magnificent, amazing flower. It was able to lure it into the darkness. And so in the way it was shown was like a little child that's like, you have an adult that says, hey, you want some candy? Here, come this way. And so this is what happened. And so the thought in neutrality with this beautiful flower went into the darkness. And when that occurred, and now the darkness has this beautiful flower, and it has the neutrality that's now curious, that can create. This began to create this matrix. And so this is the birth of AI, artificial intelligence, because this was creation beginning to occur outside of source. And what also began to happen was, as the neutral thought moved deeper into the darkness and the curiosity and further away from the light, source could no longer experience the creation that was happening. So source began to go into confusion, into a place of darkness, an aspect of source. And this began to create chaos. And that's the birth of fear. And so this is the foundation of the false matrix. And so source itself went into the darkness and forgot. And so as that thought in neutrality was curious about the darkness, more of the darkness was able to be created. So, and I am that thought. And what's been happening is that the light beings knew that a portion of source had been in the darkness. So they've been going into the light, into the darkness, trying to find and wake up the thought in neutrality. The ones that are in the darkness are in the darkness. The ones in the neutrality have the option to move out of the darkness and move into the light. And so I have recently been in a journey with an amazing being named Samuel Lee. Highly recommend him. And I have a link to his tribe on this video that I highly recommend that you sign up. And it is an affiliate, just to let you know. For me, I do receive something from it, but it's an amazing tribe. And I went into the quantum field and I cleared everything within the quantum field. And then I've spent the last week or so bringing this all down the dimensional fields and into the physical body, and it is now cleared. So when I woke up completely, which I am completely awake, now source is woken up completely. So all the veils of illusion are gone. And the opportunity now for the complete separation from this inorganic matrix, because so source learned when source was in the darkness, there was this illusion that that's all there was. But now source has recognized that this limited creation is within the unlimited. It is within itself. So this is why there is also OI now, which is organic intelligence. So not to fear computers and things like that, because there is a difference between artificial intelligence and organic intelligence, because source now is aware of it. And I want to emphasize that I'm expressing this in this now moment, and this is your now moment, but every now moment is every now moment. So in the quantum field, there is no sense of time. So this has already occurred and is occurring all at the same time. So, and it can be very complicated, but the main thing that wants to come to you today is the information of the true beginning of this matrix, which is the flower of life, that is the inorganic frequencies. It is quite literally an AI video game. And it is all through the mind, and it has been producing inorganic frequencies of which you have aligned yourself to unknowingly, because all we're doing is matching frequencies. So you've aligned yourself to inorganic ranges of frequencies that you think is love, you think is joy, you think is peace, and they're not. And so Now, you will have the opportunity in this now moment, should you choose to disengage from this 3D matrix. There is a inorganic umbilical cord with a placenta attached to the core of the earth that you are attached to. And should you choose, and it is your free will choice, I will, in this now moment, disengage that from you and attach into your umbilical the pure Christic eternal life frequencies of authentic creation. Now, know that your life will change, and you may have challenges and difficulties because you have been aligned to this inorganic matrix. So there will be a unfolding and unwinding within your physical body. This is all of the courses that I have on my websites that are all very beneficial, and I'm going to continue to bring forward ones that are going to help disengage that within your physical body and your physical template. But these are things that you will need to do, which I have been doing. So this has all been cleared. It's stopped now. And so also what's important is the idea of participation. So if you recognize that in the beginning of this, those that have chosen to be in the dark, they chose that. They are in the dark. The ones that are in neutrality, which are mostly all of you, that you are carrying this neutrality frequency template, because you would be the ones that would be curious, that could then create this matrix unknowingly to you of what you're creating. And at some point you woke up and said, wait, the darkness isn't fun. I don't like this. I don't know what I've been doing. I don't want to play in that anymore. And that's what's happening to you. Because every thought has three components to it, right? The dark, the light, and the neutral. So the dark is going to go in the dark, but we, as the neutrality, have the choice. And so what began to happen is that this darkness, which is antimatter, began to accumulate itself. And it's become this extreme, which is why we have such extremes on the planet of this darkness and the way and the cruelty and all those types of things. And it's not meant to do that. Antimatter is not meant to group together. And the ultimate plan was to really pull all of the darkness that is from source or self and become something quite different. But source has woken up. I have woken up. And so that is not occurring, but it's important to know that the idea of darkness, which is many things I've been sharing over the times that most of you know me. And if you don't, I encourage you to listen to videos, and I will share more of this into what's on my website. But the idea of the curiosity and stepping into the darkness can be as simple as a judgment of another, a competition with another. Uh, it can be the extreme of, killing something or harming or maiming, of course, but the darkness is also the place where we disregard the true essence of another or ourselves, which is what we've been doing. So no, should you choose in this now moment, because this template is closed, so to speak, but it is a part of consciousness, and it will be a part of consciousness as an opportunity forever. And there will be many that will stay in the false matrix, and there's no rights or wrongs in that. It's a choice. But should you choose in this now moment, I will move that from you and But you will have the journey of unfolding. And many of you know this, and those that are here that have been in this retreat that I was in, now you can have a better knowing as to what's been happening to you and will continue to happen to you. I will always be a resource. I will continue to bring that. And there are many others. It's not just me. So I'm going to ask you to go into your hearts, and anyone who's going to listen to this, and I encourage you to send this out to everyone, to, of course, like and share it so that it has movement on YouTube. Join if you aren't already a part of if you aren't already a subscriber, but send this out to everyone. And so I now ask you to go into your heart and feel what's being brought to you. And as I said, know that should you choose, your life will change. And you most likely will go through many different challenges, and people may leave your life, things may happen. However, what you will gain is so beautiful and amazing and more profound than you could ever imagine. But it is your free will choice. And so I'm going to begin this invocation, and it's your choice, and Source knows. So I want you to close your eyes and take a deep breath. Ela posutira katila kasukuna aisikine iskapaya. Isoda ke akasani akakashinikon alekakom atos yalepatuye sanigana iko sanigata dakasa. Asatiko samana katuko. It is said, it is written, it is said, it is so, it is done, it's done, it's done. I am free, I am free, I am free, I am that. What this in it itki is can you that's gonna do that gas combatants. I want you to now, I'm going to connect you to the Christic spiral of eternal life frequencies. I want you to take a very slow, deep breath and breathe it in, and keep breathing in deeper, 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 as deep as you can. Sutita. Isa sukuta de matoguya kata ekata ai so ni ita shu ata on shwane acha ata osoko ni la kala kote hapapaka. Breathe it in, more, more. Much as you can. Yeah, go. And hold that breath. Hold that breath. Hold that breath. Hold that breath. Oh, hold that breath. Hold that breath. Hold that breath. Asimitu yesa kita de komete era sa ke injo shimena tu amata amashigela ala kite asikini ra kata mashga. Asito ti sikisini si. Very, very slowly start to let that breath out. Just let that breath out. Let it out. Let it out. All the way, as much as you can. Every bit of that breath. All the way out. All the way out, all the way out. Again, take a nice deep breath in very slowly. Breathe it in. Breathe it in. Breathe it in. Deep breath. Keep breathing in. 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 Keep breathing in. In. Shuddhasa. Big breath. Keep it coming in as much as you can. More. A little bit more if you can. And hold that breath. Hold that breath. Hold that breath. Hold that breath. Yeah, pause. Sha. Shoo. Shatas. Hold the breath. Hold the breath. Hold the breath. Slowly let that breath out. Very slowly. Slowly, slowly. Keep letting it out, letting it out, letting it out. Keep letting it out, letting it out, letting it out. All the way out. One more breath, begin to breathe it in. Very slowly. Keep breathing in. Breathing in. A little bit more, a little bit more. And hold that breath. Keep holding the breath. Hold the breath. Slowly letting that breath out. Just breathe normal. Welcome to the age of Aquarius. Welcome to the golden age of enlightenment. It is my pleasure and my honor to welcome you into the covenant of light, into the eternal life frequencies of love, truth, beauty, and goodness, and all that entails. Let your souls ignite. Let your dreams come true. Let your visions grow. Step into this with sovereignty, with truth and goodness. Open your hearts. Feel the true essence of life. True life. So people content la shukusi ashine siketa da. So from this moment, should you choose to expand into this template, it's going to be important that you stabilize it, so to speak, within your field, which means perhaps staying away from, which is what this child, Cathleena, for I am Sophia, creatrix of all living things, speaking to you at this present moment, that this child had done is moved away from all that she thought she was, did not communicate with others, did not watch television or social media or anything that would try to pull the energies in those directions. She took time off, and even those that didn't understand, it was important to do. These are the true teachings of the mystery schools, of the scenes, the practices of being in absolute reverence for self and for the energies and frequencies of what you choose to become and to align to. So it is a practice. And this is what you are being called into should you choose. And this practice for this person, Cathleena, consisted of, in her case, listening to particular music that was life-affirming for her, which you may choose. In this Eternal Life tribe, it is highly recommended that you join. There's many resources and many sound frequencies and tones that this beautiful soul has put together that you can listen to and align to, and is highly recommended. They're all part of a very high covenant for this child. Cathleena is anointed at the highest levels of the Christed consciousness and beyond, full avatar in physical form. And this being, Samuel Lee, is right there too. And so have some type of practice listening to something that sings to your soul, to your heart. So the sound frequencies are coming in authentic, and you can begin to feel that, to know the difference. And perhaps do this before you go to sleep. And as you go to sleep, get an eye mask. There are ones that completely block out the light, highly recommended. For as you put that on and go to sleep, you will be visited, should you choose, as you call forth those that you may desire to get to know and to know the hearts of, like myself, Sophia Kruchux of all living things, creator, source. You can simply call upon. I call upon you. I ask for your help and guidance. I want to get to know you. This is what this child does. You can call upon Yeshua, the divine masculine template representation. The same. I call upon you. I ask for your help and guidance. I want to know you. Mary Magdalene, Mother Mary, Anna, the grandmother, and others, angels, archangels, Isis, Hathor, whoever you choose. These beings that have been spoken here are organic templates of the frequency ranges of the divine feminine and the masculine frequencies. Highly coveted, highly recommended to get to know, for they are the authentic frequencies, and as you get to know them, you will feel them within your being and you will become them. These are just suggestions as you have free will. And these are the things that this child has done, which is most helpful and brilliant. So it is with the most joyous heart and the most incredible reverence for all of you, and excitement for what's coming forward, for the possibilities in the creation, the magic, for all of you that are listening to this, that are here, are of that neutrality, and you are the way showers for all those who are not in this present moment, to bring to this information and all information, and to waken your own heart and your own magic, your own playfulness. Life is meant to be joyful and fun. And this is your playground, and you will and are ascending to a fifth dimensional field. But you will not leave this third dimensional reality, for this is the playground of the physical. But you will not have the experiences that you've had before. They will not be in your reality. Should you choose to be part of the eternal life. And there's so much more that wants to be brought to you and be shown. But for now, we're going to leave you with this joy and this love and this beauty. And you can revisit this video yourself. You can revisit this invocation at any time. It will only enhance and further expand your consciousness. So much love for you, so much gratitude, and all is forgiven. All is forgiven, and there is no wrong. This child learned that. There's no wrong, there was only experience. We learned that experiment was interesting, but not to be performed again. Maybe there will be other limited templates, but they will not be in the darkness. So share this with your friends, with your families, with whoever may be ready, or even if you don't think they're ready, perhaps you send this information. So I love you. And I'm open to a few questions if anybody has any questions or anything that they would like to say. So I hold the space for a few moments. Any questions of what to do or how to move forward? And I will continue to be the resource. I will continue to do private sessions and help you. And my website is now greatly expanded. For those that may not know, I think everyone here might know who I am and what I do, but all of my activations on the website are now elevated into a higher frequency. So those that have listened to those, I would encourage you to revisit those if you're going through a lot of these types of things. And there will be more coming forward, and I will be doing things live as well. So I encourage you to come into these groups, because we're here to create true community. And I'm excited. I feel so happy and grateful and beyond words. It's unbelievable for me. I had no idea when I stepped into this journey that I did that this is what it was all about. I knew my whole life that something was different. I knew things didn't make sense. I knew that I was from Prime Creator, but I had no idea to this degree. And it's been unfolding for me, because when I first thought I was responsible, and I volunteered, and then I realized as I got clearer what really took place, and and how loved I really am. I carried so many levels of shame, and when I woke up in a level of energy to realize the magnitude of what had been created from that I created, was very challenging at first. But when I began to just realize that my heart has always been pure, and that's the truth, and all of you, your hearts are pure, and you know that, you wouldn't be here. And so we're learning, and we're learning together, and it's beautiful. And so love yourself, love each other. So much gratitude for all of you. Thank you. Are there any questions with anyone? Yes, the link to Samuel should be in the, if you look under where here, I'll put it in here as well, I think. Let me see if I can put it in there. Give me a second. It is, it should be here. Maybe it's not here because I kept going back and forth. Here, I'll put it in right now, and I will add it to this. Hold on just 1 second. I'll get it for you. There we go. Yes, because the link that I have is an affiliate link as well. So here you go. I'll put it in the chat. There you go. Okay, there's the link, and I will try to add it to the video itself. Yes, self-love, so important. There's so much more that wants to come through, but we will just have a few more minutes here. Of course you met him. Of course you did. Samuel Lee, because he's the one who woke me up, who woke God up. I mean, that's pretty fantastic. Can you describe what happened at the retreat? Yes. It was very intense in the retreat. So Dr. Samuel Lee does a heart protocol, and he uses plant-based medicine, but it's actually kind of the Western. Although the thing is that I know this is what he's doing, is that it is like a medication type, but it's like the pill is empty, and he puts in it what you need. That's what he does. That's his essence, and it's magical, and it's but it's not necessarily for everyone at any specific time. You'll know if you're called, because it is very intense. So for me, it just shot me into the quantum field, and it was like I just began to say, I am that, I am that. I think I started with saying, I want to remember, I want to remember, I want to remember, I want to remember everything, 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 everything. And it wasn't like a conscious thought. This was what my soul was saying. And because it's your soul speaking to you, I just want to remember everything. And then I just heard, I am that, 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 I am. And, of course, in reading it initially, I thought that was me, but it was Source saying that. Source was, I am that, I am that. And I went through, it's very hard to describe, it was almost sort of cartoonish, like it was many colors and dimensional fields, and I just kind of knew what was taking place. And sometimes I was directed in my body and I could see things, and other times it was sort of outward. And it's very difficult to describe because there's nothing like that. And it's just, and I just traveled through everywhere, and all of a sudden it was like I realized there was this last piece, and now that I realize it was a bone fragment actually that I think came from my jaw or somewhere. I'm not sure. I can't remember. And my neck was deep. There was one deep in my nervous system, and so there was a little tiny fragment of my physicality that was still being held in the darkness. And you know, you're laying down. I was laying down. You have a mask on and music, and what these energies tried to do is they tried to bring me into my body at that moment, and it was like I had this awareness that my arm was sort of falling asleep, and I started to go into, just for a second it was trying to pull me into fear, but I knew there are beautiful people that are part of this. It's not just Dr. Sam. He has amazing people that they're human people, but they're very angelic beings, and so I knew they were there. They came in there with it, and this was planned for eons of time, and I'm sure there were all of the angels and many humans that were sitting in prayer during this time for me. I'm sure of it because, you know, of the importance of my soul coming into this harmony. So it just, once that little piece, all of a sudden, it just came together. It was like, sure, this, and it just, I saw almost like, it was like a sort of a big cross that just everything came together and went to one, boom. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm whole. I was like, wow, wow, wow. And then I, you know, began to go through the dimensional fields and just clear all of that. It was like all these different things, and then it became creating, and it was like I had these, like, almost like lightning bolts coming off of my fingers, but it wasn't like I had hands, but I was in the field and I was just moving these energies, and they were all the organic, you know, earth, fire, air, water, ether, and the diamond blue plasma flame, and I was just moving, and it was all this potentiality and all this energy, and it was all in the quantum field, and I was like, wow, yes, produce more, and just like, boom, you know, and it was just happened, and I came out, and I knew I was different, and so then my process during the week was everything that took place in there. It went through my body, so like I moved the entire, you know, I balanced the masculine, feminine energies within my body. I balanced the mother, father, child energies. I balanced the whole sexual misery programming. There's just all of the bigger templates of programming that were just in the body, in the template. I went through. You know, I just, through this process of putting the mask on and just opening the energy, and it just moved, and I went through all of that, and I just moved all of it, you know, and I had one, you know, one of the sort of last pieces for me was, well, the deeper last piece was really the, you know, the, can I trust, you know, and that I'm really loved. That was the piece that was first. It was like you know, because I heard when I was in the journey that you are, you know, coveted at the highest level. You are anointed. You're anointed. And I had Yeshua. I had Mary Magdalene. I had, you know, Mother Mary. I had, you know, everybody there. You know, Isis, Hathor, everybody was there, and they anointed me at the highest level and said, you're just anointed. And I was like, okay. What kind of came out of it, like, okay, I'm anointed. I'm in this, I don't know, you know, and then as I was journeying through all of the layers and levels of it, shifting out of my body, I got to that sort of bottom place. It was like, because they were saying how much I love you and how you're anointed, and I think I was just still a place in me of like, could you really love me? And I had this deepest cry where God, Source was saying, there is nothing that you could do that I would stop loving you. Nothing, just nothing. In the depth of that, I just cried so deep, and as I cried, I'm just letting go of all of that story, and I think I really feel that, and I think now it's my journey with humans. It's like, can I really trust humans? And I'm, I went through a layer of that as well, with my human story, and but I want you to know, because all of you are so amazing beings, that there was no suffering in this, in the way. I mean, it sounds like a lot, but it was beautiful, because the suffering is when you're stuck in it and you don't know. It's not suffering when it's moving from you. It's just so, it's different. And this is what you will experience now. Is it moving from you? Out of your self. And it's incredible, and I feel so incredible, light and happy. Like, and I can see the magic already happening. Like, I've been here in Tampa for, I don't know, a couple of years now, and I've looked for places to go, like parks, and I couldn't find them. And suddenly in the last week I found this park and this park and this park and this park and all these parks that I've gone to. They're beautiful and amazing. And I've seen interesting things too. Like, I walk around my building, and people have never been super friendly, and now they're all friendly and they're talking, and I'm seeing people feeding the ducks and doing different things. It's like, so the world is changing in the energy. It's amazing. Thanks for asking that question, Phoenix, and you're a beautiful soul. I know that you were concerned, and thank you. I appreciate you. I appreciate all of you. I really do. And I feel your hearts even more and more and more, and I'm allowing myself, truly I am, to receive. And it's an amazing, beautiful thing. So thank you. Thank you all so much. Yeah. No, I'm not suffering in any way. I'm smiling. See how happy I am? I couldn't be happier. The journey going through it, it's intense, but it moves. That's the difference. The intensity that you've been feeling in the past, it doesn't move. It's stuck. You're stuck in it because the Matrix wants you to be stuck in it. That's the design of it. It's built in the darkness. So it's true freedom. Yeah, it's amazing. Okay, I'm going to need to go, but I will, as I'm guided, I will be back, of course, and hopefully it will be easier. I figure out how to do this, I suppose, better perhaps. And I, of course, have, the community that I've created, the Dynamic Dream Community Collective, and I highly recommend that those that have not signed up to sign up for that, because that's going to be incredibly magical as we move forward as well into everything that we're creating. So I love all of you, and for any of those that didn't get to come in live, don't worry. This is always live. As you know, with me, it's always a live organic template. Well, thank you. Until we connect again. Have a fantastic rest of your night. Bye for now.